the National Sports Festival. That there is the Auto. The Auto have it already. National Sports Festival Delta 2022. What a feeling we're having at the Stephen Keshi Stadium here. The sports complex is absolutely lovely. We've enjoyed ourselves here to the fullest. Yesterday we were at the wrestling mat where we saw amazing displays. You know, in a way I actually forgot my wrestling outfit yesterday. I should have joined them in, but hi, it's an absolutely beautiful feel. Gold, raining gold here and there for Delta State. This year, an amazing set of athletes. I spoke yesterday with Daniel Igali, and he did mention that, hey, this is the future. I've seen some amazing wrestlers, and that interview also dovetailed to when I spoke with Blessing Oborodudu, who happened to be Nigeria's, scratch that, Nigeria, no. She's this world #2 ranked wrestler in the entire world, and that right there is Blessing Oborodudu. So we spoke a lot about yesterday, and these are the faces of people excited and looking forward to what today will bring. Officials, I'm sure, of different states. Maybe she's trying to know how many medals they have right now, but this is the stage. The stage is set. The athletes are currently in the core room, getting ready. Any moment from now, we will enjoy another piece of action. Like yesterday, like we've been seeing, it is game day 8 of this National Sports Festival, a production brought to you by Team 33. So, the last time out on athletics, when we were here on athletics the other day, I had the good fortune of speaking with some amazing talent on the track and field event. Step forward, Chukwuebuka Nekweje, who was absolutely fantastic. I also spoke with Shadi at some point. I spoke with Tima Godbless. A number of people I did speak with the other day. So let's just take a listen to what he broke the record. He's a record breaker. So step forward, Chukwuebuka Nekweje. We had a conversation. Let's see how it goes. We'll be right back to in the studio shortly. The records, they say, are meant to be broken. Time and time again, events like this, the National Sports Festival, will bring people, individuals or collective group of people that will shatter records. So step forward, a record that has stood for what now? Over 16 years of competition. The record in armor throw that stood at the time at 59.00, now shattered by this gentleman, Chukwuebuka Nekweje. How you doing, my man? Good evening.
Good evening. I'm doing well.
Speak to me, man. Run us through. Did you have that record thing in your mind from the get-go? Did you set out to shatter the record, man?
I did. I had that record in my mind since 2015. I used to be a hammer thrower in university, but my senior year I switched over to shot put, and I started throwing 21 meters and forgot about the hammer. But this summer I got injured, so I started throwing it again in August, and training throws were going around 67, 68 meters. So I figured we had the festival, I might as well try and break the record in the one meet and then go back to shot put.
67.45. Is that one of your best shows in your career as an armor thrower?
I think it's one of the best throws. I can still push towards 70 meters, but it's one of the better throws.
What does this mean to you personally? Do you now go home sleeping? Do you now go to bed thinking to yourself, oh man, I'm a national record holder. The sky can only be the beginning, yeah?
Yeah, it's a huge honor. I'm a fan of Christian Okoye, who had the national record before. I actually spoke to him on the phone this afternoon. And it's a big honor to have a second national record. I have the shot put national record. So this one is one that I've been chasing for 7 years. So finally to have it accomplished, I don't care how long it stands. As long as I got my name on the board, I'm okay with that. I'm grateful.
And huge congratulations to you, my man, Chukwuebuka Nekweje. Run us through it. Saturday we're here. Shot put is happening again. Is that another gold guaranteed?
Nothing's ever guaranteed. I have competitors I respect, and they respect me, so we're going to give the best competition. But I feel like I'm in shape to win another gold.
As I bring this interview to a close, I can't help but ask you, man, is the National Sports Festival, has it served really as the conveyor of true talent for the nation? What do you think? How could you evaluate this particular facet of sport?
I think it's a great meet. It's a great identifier of talent. It's an all-comers meet in a sense, but it's also the best of each state represented. So it's a great identifier of national talent. You get talent from all corners of Nigeria getting ready to compete at basically a national meet, or National Olympics, if you think about it. So I think it's a great identifier of talent, and some of the athletes that get maybe second, third, and fourth may come back and get first, or may have some eyes put on them based on their performances. So it's a good identifier.
Oh, well, I have been speaking with the champ himself, the record holder, the record breaker, and the conqueror of all hammers. Congratulations, my man. I'm wishing you the very best come Saturday for short put.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Dotting the I's and crossing all T's is absolutely important to any sport. And you can see our officials who really have been doing the very best of apparatus check all day just to make sure that things are well set and well ready, because the last thing we want is to have athletes fall off. And that man on the screen earlier, that's Charles Dia. Charles is one of the runners, of this particular production. Shout out to Charles, by the way. So yesterday I gave kudos to some people. I think being on TV is is a huge privilege, right? But there are some people who make TV look good. Maybe I should probably just save it all too for the closing ceremony. But shout out to Charles Dia. Shout out to Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi is a guy who does the water runs, and he never tires out, really. And speaking of doing something that doesn't tire out, I mean, you can see right there, these are very dedicated members of staff of the Stephen Keshi Sport Complex here, making sure that things are done quite well. But joining me in the studio right now is a man who knows one or two things. Sorry, scratch that. Who knows a lot of things about doing things well. That's a man who's won a gold medal. Olympic gold medalist. The irrepressible Enfiok Udobong, who is absolutely special. You had your commentary debut, and the whole world is asking, "Oh, is that commentator?" We're like, "No, nah, he's not a commentator. He is that gold medalist at the Olympics." And you called, I mean, that your knowledge of the sport actually came to bear. Well done, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
We should hire you permanently.
Please tell that to the CEO. I'll be waiting.
No, we'll put it on that advice, man. How are you feeling today, sir?
I'm very good. I'm excited. It's a great day, and we have some great competitions ready today.
Yeah, we have orders. Of course, we have the eats, we have the finals. And we have one of your specials, actually, 4x400 mixed relay happening today. Excited about that?
Yeah, that's and it's a final today, so we're going to see a fantastic race. The hurdles, which has come to the limelight in Nigeria recently, because we have the world champion and the world record holder and the common world champion, and call it whatever you may. But unfortunately, I think we've just received news that event will not take place because all the athletes will be moved on to the finals, because we have less than 8 athletes registered for it. So it's a bit of excitement delayed, but won't be denied us.
Indeed.
So we'll just go to the 110 hurdles immediately after we finish from here. But yes, he said the 4x4 mixed relay. The 4x4 relay is a very special and exciting event. But when you mix it up, that's the female and the males running together. It blends into a very exciting mix, because you may have a very good male runner and a very poor female runner. Sometimes you see women running against the men, and you try to see how does it match up, take place. So it's an exciting event, and the hits were done yesterday, and we saw a lot of excitement, and we expect a great competition today.
At the finals of the 100 meters, the one you called, let's talk about the female. Let's just dissect that final. Did it go according to plan? May God bless winning for Bayelsa State. I caught up with her in an interview afterwards, and she mentioned that she was injured coming into the tournament, and she actually pushed herself. And does that show a level of mental fortitude needed at this level?
If I tell you now not to read for 3 months and go and write the common entrance, primary school common entrance, you will pass. That's the that's the gap that Tima has with the rest of the athletes.
Wow.
So coming into the
competition,
she
is that good.
Yeah, coming into the competition, not fully prepared for having injury, didn't really affect her win. Probably she may have been disappointed. She probably would have loved to run a festival record or a better time. But in terms of her comparison to the other athletes, I mean, she was a class ahead. Tima is an athlete that has done sub 11. She's a 10-9 athlete, and the best of the others are running 11-6, 11-7, 11-8. So I mean, you could virtually wake up from sleep to win the race.
Yeah, she is fast indeed. And then we also saw an act of retaining the crown by the gentleman Richard Agegoke from Rivers. He Did you? I mean, you called that particular. I listened to it. You
Yeah.
called that particular 100 meters, and I could hear. You seem to respect the young man.
Yes, I do respect the guy a lot. He's done quite a lot, and it won't be very long before we stop seeing him in the shores of the country because he probably will take his talents to the US or to somewhere in Europe. But the 100 meters was a closer call. We had about 3 or 4 athletes that were very close, competitive together. But the young man is an amazing athlete. We expect that within the next 2 years, he'll be doing the things for us in the Olympics.
Absolutely great for you. I mean, you got to commend that. If you watch the 100 meters really finals, you would understand the quality. Well, the boys are the girls and the boys are stepping into town now. They're getting ready for what will be an exciting day. You know what? On our way back home yesterday, I saw Team Rivers. Emmanuel Tim can testify. You know, they were literally having a party on the road, and that's one of the feeling of the National Sports Festival. Has it always been like this? And the fact that everywhere is your home, you know, in that particular city. They put up a speaker and then they were playing a song and they were on the road literally dancing, and people, residents of the area, came out to dance with them. And the tournament is not over yet, the festival is not over yet, but you can have that level of feeling, that excitement is there for all to see.
Yeah, it's a celebration of sports, as you say. It's a celebration of sports, and when you call it a festival, you know there must be festivities, there must be dance. So people come and watch sports, but sometimes the races, the running, the jumping, the sweat, and the toil is just a sideshow. The main show was the communication, the friendliness, the bringing of Sokoto and Akwa Ibom together, bringing of Meduguri and Lagos together, bringing of all these people together. We're living together, eating together, playing together, doing some good and bad, not so good things together. And that's what the whole...
It's all part and parcel of it.
It's part
Just a
and
little
parcel
bit.
of it.
Yeah.
So, and after all that is done, we come in the mornings and in the evenings, and we compete, and in the nights we have some good time together. In the mornings we come back. And so
You
for
sound like a
10
man that
days-
has missed that feeling.
well, yeah, because as an athlete, I competed in 3 or 4 festivals, and I could imagine and understand these things. And the festival tries to mirror a little bit to a very lesser extent the Olympics. The Olympics brings up all this together too. The good thing about the Olympics is that there's a village, so you go from the stadium to the village where everybody is. In the festival, we're all here and there and everything. We know that it's difficult to bring everybody together. But that togetherness, that unity is one of the things that we are very happy about.
Indeed, and Delta State have really done a fantastic job trying to align and make sure that everyone has a bit of feeling of that festivities. Maybe that should be one of the things going forward. Creating like a games village, it wouldn't be a bad idea. We hear there will be an announcement of the 2024
Okay.
2024 host, hopefully. Maybe it could be one of the things that the host could think about. Just build this. I think I agree with it. Everybody together in a way.
The host always tries to bring something new and something unique and say legacy that they'll be remembered for. So we'll have some feelings of who that's going to be. We'll wait till the closing ceremony before we hear which state is hosting. But yeah, that
Maybe
would
it's,
be
I
exciting.
mean, maybe they're even listening to this conversation and they are trying to add it to their proposal to the government. Yeah, because hey guys, so I think you owe us money for free consultation.
Well, yeah.
Right, because I mean we're telling you, I think it's going to be amazing. I think that because that kind of environment, it even motivates you extra. It gives you that level of confidence because you get to train with another kind of athlete. You get to eat and dine and come from a different perspective of sporting thinking from another athlete, and he can rub off in a way. And speaking of rubbing off, this man's level of leadership and acumen has rubbed off on all of these athletes. They know they can't mess up. We saw a red card to one of these when we had that race by one of the 100 meters for the disabled sport, and we saw that a gentleman had a red card, and I think that's one of the harsh things we see in the world of 100 meters. How does that happen?
Yeah,
I mean,
but you
sometimes you make one mistake and that's it.
First of all, an advice, because you say an advice for them that you don't mess about with the man with the gun.
True, very true, very true. Especially in this case, I
yes.
agree. I
But
completely
yeah,
agree.
it's not just about speed and stamina and strength. It's concentration and fairness, and that's why false starts are absolutely discouraged. Because not only you should be concentrated, we want to see the best people run. When you beat the gun and you don't go at the time, your disobeying the rules, and you're disorganizing the opponent, and which is with fairness comes into play.
So, before, I mean, I have an interview with Shadil Yetayo very soon, but before I take that, I mean, just to finish this line of thought, do you suggest, I mean, as a pro, as a gold medalist, is it always fine to wait for that gun and go instantly, or just allow it go for like a few seconds?
Now you have to respond and react to the gun. So you must wait for it. You must wait for it. You wouldn't. It doesn't make you win or lose the race by going before anticipating the gun. As a matter of fact, the World Athletics frowns at anticipation of gun. Wait for it. If your race technique is okay, if your race running is all right, you'll do well.
Indeed. Well, you guys, I mean, I think you need guys to pay me, right? Because I'm giving you guys free athletics lessons,
Yes, and
from
I'm
the
giving out
master.
the tips very, very free.
Free tips from the master himself, Olympic gold medalist, and of course, double medalist at the Olympics. And not so many Nigerians can be proud to have that particular feat. So he is gold standard. Enel Udobong, of course, he is also gold himself. But speaking of gold, this absolutely dominant female, I was dominant in the armor throw. Shadil Yetayo, she absolutely smoked it all. I had a conversation with her after the last time out when we were on the tartan tracks. We will listen to what she has to say and what our plan is for Saturday's showing at the shot put. Maybe another gold, just maybe. We'll be right back. I want to thank you so much for being part of this production. Remember, this is a Team 33 production, and at the moment, I'm with the absolute queen of the throws and the shot put. In fact, she's got a gold medal already in this particular tournament. Good evening, my lady. How are you?
Good, how about you?
I'm very well. I mean, I should be asking you. You're the gold medalist. How does that make you feel?
It feels great to be able to come into the competition and win gold in the shot put is good momentum going into the hammer on Wednesday. So it's very exciting to win for Delta.
Now tell me, when you started out, in this tournament, was that gold on your mind? Was that like should I say that's your target? Like, I want to win gold at this particular tournament?
Yeah, so every competition I go in with the mindset that I want to do better than my previous competition. So coming in, knowing that, shot put and hammer are my events, the goal was to get gold, to do better than the last competition that I competed, and I was able to execute. Yeah.
Nice, well done. So is this your first, second, or third National Sports Festival?
This is my first National Sports Festival.
And you already got gold for that. So would you say the competition is viable enough for discovering talent?
I think the competition, it wasn't bad. I think that being able to help develop more athletes, having more resources, more places for athletes to grow within the sport is something that's going to help Nigeria for the future, for us to be able to have athletes to be produced here and abroad of Nigerian descent. Is very important to be able to reach the level of World Championship in the Olympics. So the talent is growing compared to even last year what I saw. So it's very exciting for Nigeria's future.
Concentration at the highest level, level of precision as well, and accuracy is everything at this particular time. It's the first heat of the 100 meters hurdles are for female. There will be a final for men very soon. And so we'll patch up live for live commentaries of our very first televised event of this absolutely gorgeous Game Day 8 of the National Sports Festival. Standing by with Enel Udobong is Emmanuel Etim. Take it away, Emmanuel.
Quite colourful. With that, we bid you a fine evening. Wherever you are tuned in across the globe, this is the Big Hat of the Nation. It's another day for the track and field event as we continue our coverage of the 21st National Sport Festival Delta 2022. One of the oldest of all sporting competitions enveloped by natural and universal forms of physical and human expression. Divided into three broad categories: track, field and combined events, most of which will be amplified here at the main bowl of the Stephen Keshi Stadium. I'm Emmanuel Etim, excited to talk you through all there is from the jumps to throws and highly anticipated races. Most athletes tend to specialize in just one event. The aim always is to perfect their performances, but there are a few who have got the talent to expand their medal routes in just a bit. As put out there for your viewing pleasure, it would be the women's 100-meter hurdles. A couple of athletes from various states. It's the National Sport Festival, so you've got 36 states and the FCT competing. But in this soon to get off event, it would be a favor representing Kano State. It's also Ayaleke Stella of Delta State, who have continued to dominate various sports festivals and on the verge of winning 7 on the bounce, as they say. Grace Ayemo, but also one of the names to look forward to. She will be racing for your state. There's Sekina Taluode of Lagos, Onwachuku Veronica of Bayelsa also in there, and Francis Oluwakemi, who is also going to be part of the start list in the women's 100 meters hurdles. Just waiting to get the race underway. Has pretty much even more excitement to look forward to. The women's 200 meters final. I'm keenly anticipating that race as a chance for record-breaking feat for one of the athletes, but also the men's 200 meters final. But for the time being, it's Ayaleke Stella, who Ini, who's by the way is just beside me, saying, Emmanuel, you've got to keep your eye on the athlete on track lane 3. I mean, she's got home support, so I'd expect it to propel her bounce and her movements, but you never know in events like this. Just one trip and it all could become heartbreaking. Her women's 100-meter hurdles record is currently held by Ogie Bunam Amaka from Delta State. The record set way back in 2009 in Kaduna during the 16th National Sport Festival. A time of 13.54 seconds. And you've got Francis Oluwakemi, also of Delta State, ready for this. Concentration on your faces. The hurdles are an exciting event in festivals and, of course, world occasions. On the African continent, the record holder is from Morocco with a time of 52.90, but that's in the 400. But the 100-meter hurdles have got more of the performance, and the cameras will continue to pan on the athletes, one of which is Ayaleke Stella, who will be running on lane 3. Well, you can do the head count yourself. We've got just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 athletes, and perfect timing to welcome my co-commentator this evening right here at the Stephen Keshi Stadium 1. An individual who has accomplished quite a lot. As often mentioned, he's the only Nigerian to win the Olympic medals. He's won gold at the 2000 Olympics and also a bronze medal at the 2004 Summer Olympics. Ini, I mean, it's always a pleasure. I feel like I'm not qualified to sit by you, but there's so much to look forward to the 100-meter hurdles. It's not one of your forte, Ini, but of course you know much about this.
Oh yes, of course, and of course the whole Nigeria will know more about it because Toby Amusu has just shattered the world record, and so we all have interest in this. And like I told you, the hurdles, we are looking at 113 Stella Ayaneke there. She's been a golden light on the home base circuits, and we expect her to, but it's a pretty strong field. She wouldn't take it lightly. She has veterans by her right and her left, and it's as they go down, and that's going to be an awesome race for first heats.
It would be an awesome race. The words of Aniofjog Uduobong alongside Emmanuel Etim. Well, you could say the South are in commentaries, and it's also going down in Delta Saba. Concentration now. And off the goal, well, it's not a perfect start, but she looks like she will keep on the momentum. Ayala Stella of Delta State, close by Grace Ayamoba of Oyo State. It's Grace, it's Stella, it's Grace and Stella, but of course she trudges on. And we'll celebrate that advancement. It was pretty tight, but a time of 13.58 seconds. What a race that was.
Yeah, incredible. It's Stella got out very quickly. Grace on the second or third hurdles got her rhythm right, and it became a competition for Stella. That's amazing. She seems to be happy about that. Stella arrived in Asaba, Delta State just this morning after writing her examinations in the University of Lagos this morning. So she just coming from the airport to the track and to winning that race. It may be a final. I think it is a final. So that's a gold medal for her. Impressive. Grace narrowly gets silver, while Sekinat Abiola misses out to Kemi Francis for the bronze.
Well, what the story is just mentioned, from the airport to the podium. That's the story of Stella Ayaleke. So for those who would like to pen down an article on this, I think that's the perfect headline: airport to podium. And just how she glides through the barriers, and in the final few meters, I'm sure her heart was racing faster than her legs were. But again, the composure, the smile on her face. We do have our first medal, but again, and it's not surprising, it's Delta State.
Well, it's become a very popular refrain, and I think we're getting bored of that. We're getting quite bored of that. But in all fairness, Delta have prepared. They have invested in sports. They have invested in their athletes and in the facilities. We see evidence of that around here. So it's absolutely going to be not so surprising to see them pick up medal after medal after medal. I think there's a big gulfing gap between Delta and the rest of Nigeria, so to say.
So 13.58, just 4 seconds shy of equaling that record set in 2009 in Kaduna by Oge Munam Amaka. That was pretty close, and you know, she does have the potentials, if that's the word to use, and to maybe someday the next sports festival to surpass that record.
Yes, and you can see it's still, Amaka was from Delta State too, so it seems it's a medal that is born and bred in Delta. She gets congratulations from people around. A very humble and pretty lady. She's off to the US to continue her studies in the new year. So, but we'll be seeing more of her. Toby Amuso is one of her idols, so I heard, and she's in good hands when we say good company there.
Yeah, just how she glides through the final hurdle, and she could sense the presence of Grace just beside her. Stayed focused. This is 2022, almost shattered by that lady who just trots, and
she looks pretty happy.
I was going to
about
mention she looked like a model more than an athlete.
She seems quite impressed, so wouldn't blame her one bit. So impressive run. She kept her cool, kept her guile, kept her composure, even in the threat of a challenge from Grace. She kept her composure, and she got out. I think that's her coach from the University of Lagos, Coach Fumi. So she's also the Nuga champion for University of Lagos. And like I said earlier on, she's just coming from writing her exams today.
Oh, happy times are here for Ayala Stella. Just hold for a bit, but we'll return. Still more to come from the indoor sport hall, I should say the main bowl of the Stephen Keshi Stadium.
Premium Trust Bank. Together we raise stars. Together we go the distance. Together we support sportsmanship. Together we win. Come join Premium Trust Bank, the lead sponsor for the National Sports Festival. Premium Trust Bank. Together for growth.
My physical state is the power that pushes me forward.
Anytime I remember, no pain, no gain. I expect the best for myself.
I have plans to be a Paralympic champion, wearing that Paralympic gold medal.
I'm going there to collect the gold medal.
Good.
Follow me enter the jollification of National Sports Festival Delta 2022, where we go enjoy Naija culture and we color as ogbonge sports people. They fight for medal. 36 states and more than 35 sports. Tie! And all of us are connected to one team. We gather the dream of victory.
From November 28th to December 10th.
The best of Naija will show themselves. Delta 2022. Now carnival where we dey celebrate Naija spirit of courage and determination.
Now Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development bring you Delta 2022 and na Delta State Government host am. E dey proudly sponsored by Premium Trust Bank, Bet King, Muka Form, Value Jet, Suzuki, Team 33 Production, Platform Petroleum Limited, Nekonde Energy Limited, Shell, Chevron, Agave, Energia Limited, Seplat Energy, Sterling Oil, and marketed by Nilayo Sport Management Limited. Enter www.delta2022.com for more details. National Sports Festival Delta 2022, uniting Nigeria, inspiring a new generation.
The track and field events just gone by. The women's 100-meter hurdles celebrations yet for Delta State, and what a moment for her. From airports to the podium, Ayala Kestela, and somehow it looks like we've been able to ambush her, if that's the word, to share her thoughts post-race.
Delta State cannot do. They've been there, they've done that on this particular field. You saw it earlier, you saw it here where we saw the very first final of today, and a personal best record being set for this absolutely dominant runner, Stella Anyoleke, coming with the gold medal. We did mention earlier that Delta State have really shown that they mean business from the get-go, and that's another gold medal and the first for this absolutely dominant runner. How you doing, Stella? Good evening.
Good evening. I'm fine.
How do you feel? It's gold medal, and did you wish at some point for this to happen? Did you know that you're gonna pick up the gold today?
Yes, like I really worked hard for this, and thank God it came to pass.
So tell me, this is your personal best. What time was that?
13.58.
Before now, what was your other time?
13.81.
Well, you do know for a fact that Toby Amuson, the brand ambassador for Premium Trust Bank, happened to be the world record holder at this time. But Stella Anyoleke is absolutely on fire. That's the first medal of... Is that your first medal for this NSF?
Yes, this is my first gold medal.
Is that the first and last?
No, no, this is just the start.
How many more events have you got, Stella?
This major. I major in just one event, the 100-meter hurdles. Yes.
And are you going to be a part of the relay team for your state?
Hopefully.
So tell me, run us through it. Is there a special ritual? I mean, we're looking at this race again. That's you right there, dominating the hurdles. Just run us through it. What was the focus for you here? Was it the finish line? Was it your competitor? Was it the wind? Was everything perfect for you in this race?
My focus was just to execute what my coach taught me, and that was exactly what I did.
And you could see the way you just literally just push your body, push your head. We could see that towards the last 15 meters, you picked it up, and she was really pushing you. I'm talking about the other lady from, I think, is it Bayelsa now? But are you guys friends?
She's my colleague.
Coach?
No.
All right, so I mean, but finally going forward, what does this mean to you? What does this gold medal mean to you? Is this one of your dreams? And going forward, what's the deal for Stella Anyoleke?
The deal for me is just to keep winning, and I'm very sure that everything will fall in place.
This is your first National Sports Festival.
This is my first National Sports Festival for 100 hurdles.
What were you before? What particular one did you partake in before now?
100 meters.
So you've evolved, and then you've turned yourself to a beautiful beast, of 100 hurdles. So yeah, congratulations to you, Esther. Stella, I beg your pardon. We wish you the very, very best. So yeah, those are the voice of a champion, a conqueror, a victorious lady on the track and field. Step forward, Stella Anyoleke. I'm sure Mom and Dad will be definitely proud. I'm sure Coach as well will be proud. I'm sure Delta State is very, very proud. Absolutely beautiful. I'm sure Emmanuel Etim and Rubong actually enjoyed that as so did we. We saw that particular field, that dominant display, that amazing show of grit, of determination, of power, and above all, of focus. And that right there is why she is the champion. Well, we're getting ready for the male version of this particular 100 meters hurdles finals. The big boys are in the building. I'm sure words have been said, thoughts have been made, plans have also been executed. Coaches have their works cut out for this one. Strategies, level of know-how, level of what to do as they are being walked to the path where we'll be looking forward to what they will be bringing to the table and to the fore at this National Sports Festival. The gold are still coming in, they are still pouring in, especially for Delta State and of course for Bayelsa as well. I saw the medal table earlier today and really must give kudos to Edo State, River State and Ogun State doing quite well. We will continue this production, but the next voice you will hear will be that of Emmanuel Etim.
Well, back the interview with the gold medalist, the women's 100 meter hurdles, Ayeleke Stella. Just had a smile plastered her in the face. Well, if you just joined the broadcast, you wouldn't think she had done a distance of 100 meters, but she did, and did quite well with a time of 13.58 seconds. The aspiration always is to see if they can match up to the legend that is Tobi Amusa, who is the current Commonwealth and African champion and the 100 meters hurdles. The pictures you're getting, the men's 110 meter hurdles will soon commence. And who is alongside me on commentaries will be taking you guys through it. Well, there's so much expectations roped around this, and it's always special for athletes who have trained for months and weeks. In times like this, what's the mentality like when you know it's all or nothing now?
Oh well, it differs from the different types of athletes that you have. Those that are very well prepared and have done a lot, the very experienced ones that have done a lot, will see it as a time to demonstrate that all the things you've been doing along the months have not been in vain. The younger ones that may be less experienced may just see it as a time to show off the skill to potential new suitors or schools or managers. But at the end of the day, there are always going to be butterflies in the stomach. As we see the lineup there, that's from lane 1 to 8, that's Ben Akpo, Yusuf Mohammed, Porore Ogenemine, who's obviously the favorite in this race. We have Wisdom Musa, Ogeriaki Martins, the policeman. He's from Bayelsa. He's one of the most experienced on the field there. Osadalo Ayowiren, Okonye Precious, and Yedike Frederick. It's pretty useful. It's a pretty useful lineup. We expect Ogene, Wisdom, and Martins to differentiate themselves in the middle of the pack.
Quite the identity of him being a policeman. How real is that?
Yeah, he is. He's been a policeman for for quite some time now. He's done very well in the police games, won a couple of medals, represented Nigeria a lot of times. But it's nice to see that the Nigerian police force and some other paramilitary units are taking sports very seriously. That's Martins there from representing Bayelsa, the policeman, as I said. When the police, the customs, the immigration, the civil defense incorporate sports as part of their training, it's not only helps their fitness, but also brings the people, the community closer to the security agencies, and that can only be good for security in the country.
Absolutely. It's like community policing, but this time he's equal to all the other athletes. I'm not sure they would be penalized for racing alongside him. So much concentration level and getting set to take you through it. But it's just so much expectations, particularly for any of these athletes who are clad with the Delta outfit. And we've got two of them here, Akpere and Okonye Precious. They just want to continue to host and win, despite what the Commissioner of Sport Delta State mentioned, how he hopes that the state could take this off Delta, but I'm certain in his heart he wants Delta to host and win for the first time. States who've perpetually dominated the sports festival getting the chance to host. I don't think they want to lose on home soil.
Well, they've been winning away from home, so It's definitely not going to be in the script to lose at home. Um, we know that Delta States have invested a lot in facilities, invested a lot in sports, invested a lot in the human capital. So it's not something that we will expect them to lose grip of very soon. Um, and who we won't be losing grip, in my own opinion, is Anton Hicks, who is the national record holder in this event, 13.27 or 13.26. He ran that in 2016. Anton Hicks, who controversially is a Nigerian national record holder, because we say controversially because he had represented Britain before, and then later on came back to try to represent us at the Commonwealth Games, and ran an impressive time. But his time was impressive. He wiped off the previous time set by another boy from the Delta Bendel region. That's William Eresi. William Eresi had run 13.42 in 2003 to be the national record holder. But those are impressive times. How do we? I'm expecting to see a time in the region of 13.6, 13.7 today. I'm not as confident in my crystal ball like I was the other day, so I wouldn't be a betting man on that.
I remember asking if this could be the race that would alter the National Sports Festival record, and you just shrugged it off and said, "Well, it's hard to tell." But with the way they're training, the composure and sort of physical state they're in, I like record-breaking moments. It's what I live for as a commentator. So if they can present one today in the National Sports Festival here in Delta State, Asaba, I'm sure the fans would be excited about it.
Conditions are right for record-breaking. The weather is okay. It's not too hot, not too cold. The wind is very steady. The crowd is excited. The conditions are right. I don't think at the moment the athletes are into that record-breaking form yet. I may be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong.
Well, I like to see eggs on face.
there.
Yeah, certainly the commentators' cost. But you just touched something about the wind, and just before the race begins, and for those watching, we've always heard wind-assisted time. In a nutshell.
Yes. In most stadia, because when you're running in the outdoor events, you're outside, and then the wind blows in different directions. And if the wind blows from behind the athletes, it tends to assist the athletes in their advancements. So as long as that wind is slower than 2 meters per second or lesser, that's fine. It's a legal time. But once the wind is above 2 meters per second, well, it's not a legal time. It's wind assisted. So you got a little bit of help from the father above, so to say.
Yeah.
And we saw a very high profile dance in the 100 meters hurdles finals in the World Championship, where Toby Amoson broke the world record again, but this time the 2.1 wind, which is just slightly, just 0.1 above the legal limits. And it wasn't taken as a world record, although she already had that in the semifinals. So it's always very important when you're running the 100 meters and the 200 meters, only those two events, that we look at the wind and we know that it's in the for or against.
Yeah, because genuinely I think it would be really evil to consider the wind if you're doing the 8,000 meters and all of those long distance races.
Even the 400, because you run both sides, so it assists you on one side and it's against you on the other, so it's cancelled out. So it's just the 100 and 200. Well, yes, the athletes are going for the introduction, and that we have from Gombe Ben Akko in 188. That's in lane 1. In lane 2. We have athlete number 463. That's Yusuf Mohammed from Kwara State. Running in lane 3. Running in lane 4 is 204. Wisdom Musa. Aporere Ogene seems to be absent, who was my favorite at that time. In lane 5, 76, the policeman, the man of the cuffs himself, Martins Ogeraki. And in lane 6, we have athlete number 549, Osadolo Ayowere. He's competing for Edo State. Very useful. Your runs are from Edo State, and we know that Edo State is led by the former Olympian Yusuf Ali, so he clearly knows what to do. Lane 7, Precious Okonye, Delta State athletes, and there we also expect an impressive run because going by precedence, And of course, from Imo State, we have 301, Frederick Anyedike. And that's the lineup for the 100 meters, 110 meters hurdles finals. These are gladiators ready to win. They have worked their way up here. It's taking them months, it's taking them years, it's taking them hours of sweat, toil, techniques, tactics, all the way. It all boils down to this 13. It just boils down to this 13-second, 14-second race. And like this, as we said earlier, the record was held by its 14.00 seconds. That's the festival record. The national record is an impressive 13.26 seconds by Anton Hicks. But are we going to see a new record here? Beat festival, beat national, beat world record. Nothing is impossible in the world of athletics as the athletes go down on their knees. Prepare to run. Akko in 1, Mohammed in 2, Musa in 4, Martins 5, Osadolo 6, Okonye 7, and Anyadike lane 8. It seems Wisdom Musa was not so happy about something going on in the crowd, probably some noise. I think the noise coming from the swimming set, it got a little bit of distraction. You see that something 18, the slightest distraction for athletes at this kind of races is not good for them, because once they're on their mark, they're waiting for the sound of the gun. And if they react to any other sound, they'll be given a red card. So
and it's a disqualification.
An absolute disqualification. So the athletes are very, very concerned about the stadium being quiet and everywhere being quiet. Well, they get down again for the second time of asking. Akko, Mohammed, Musa, Martins, Osadolo, Konye, Anyadike. They get away first time, and that's the goal. And that's someone that's crashing down. They keep on going. It is the policeman, number 76. Martin's doing well. And Precious is very well on the outside lane from Delta. And who comes in between the door? And it's Precious. Delta. He gets that. An impressive 14.25 seconds. It all seems so scattered and so hazard, and so the lead changed from time to time. It was Martins and then Sadolo before Konya Precious takes the win in 14.25 seconds. He celebrates there. He's quite pleased with himself. Not so much of a very fast race, but very competitive on its own. Very scattered. We've had crashes and crashes of hurdles, but I think from my records here, that's Precious in gold, Osadolo silver, and the policeman will have something to take on a bronze. I think he needed that because the IG won't be too happy not winning that.
And again, this looks like his personal best. That posture.
Well, he's giving the call me posture. You're quite impressed with his time. Delta continuing their winning streak, bringing out more. And there he goes. First over the first hurdle. Not very, very smooth over the second. And there, Martin was getting over very fast in number 76. But Sadolo coming far back at 5.39 between them. Sandwich between 76 Martins and the winner, Wisdom and Precious. But Precious kept his form, kept his composure, was able to even point to the clock and say, look at that. Look at it. I'm impressive. I'm the winner. I'm the champion.
And it's often said knocking over hurdles would result in disqualification. But this, most of which we've seen were accidental knockdowns. And that's not a case for disqualification. The celebration from Okonye Precious of Delta State again, picking the gold in the men's 100-meter hurdles here at the Stephen Keshi Stadium, the 21st National Sports Festival. The festival record stands, but it's a personal best for him. And he'll be super excited. He's added to a wild dominance of Delta State in the games. And that's call me, as Anna described it, celebration. It's a happy one for him. He didn't look like the fastest off the block.
Yeah, he looked quite impressive from the start. He looked quite impressive. His technique was quite good. He cleared the hurdles with some height to spare. As he hit the least of the hurdles, so he had less resistance. But on the whole, I think Delta must be getting their formulas right.
They certainly are. The fans lapping the excitement up. And more celebrations still to come, some say. The tartan tracks here is just newly relayed. Not surprising, the Minister of Youth and Sport, Chief Sander Dare, the early part of the year, when he visited to inspect facilities, celebrated the preparedness of Delta State. He, and I quote, was highly impressed with the level of work done. And this is actually a month before the festival got underway, just officially on the 30th of November 2022. And the fans continue to lap up the excitement. Just a replay. Okoye Precious, who's picked up the gold medal. But it wasn't entirely Okoye, because the man in lane 3, Ekwerere, did well enough to keep his momentum. Wisdom Musa also, but just somehow looked like he picked up a knock of the athletes, the most fortunate. There you go. With the Usain Bolt's renowned celebration. It's nothing to be ashamed of, mimicking the greatest 100-meter athlete in terms of Bob Mao. Because Usain not only dominated the 100 meters, but also had moments where he won loads of medals at the 200. And of course, the relays in partnership with some of the finest, like Shafa Powell of the Jamaican side. But this is Nigeria. It's a festival that has produced some of the finest athletes, and one of which is just right by me, Efioko Udobong. As we anticipate more to come.
Well, Emmanuel team, I agree with you. It's been quite the fixture here. It's been quite the race as well. We've seen 2 finals already, 2 winners, both from Delta State, right? I mean, it's in the eye of everyone the quality that Delta has put on the show. And what a win again, back-to-back gold medals on the track event. The field event has also happened, and it's been absolutely beautiful to see the quality of Delta and, of course, every other participant here so far. I don't think there is anyone that we can regard as the queen of the javelin in Nigeria. This is the absolute queen. In the studio with me is national record holder, festival record holder, the jewel of javelin in the continent of Africa. One of the best there is, was, and ever will be. Kelechi Iheanaga, how you doing, my lady? Good evening. Good evening. Please use your microphone, my lady. How are you?
I'm fine.
It's good to see you finally again.
Good to see you too.
I'm a big fan of people that do great, and Kelechi has been doing great from the get-go. Another gold we hear. 1 gold already in the kitty?
Yes. Delta State.
Of course.
I wasn't in. This is my first festival anyways.
Really?
Yeah.
Left to me, one would think a festival veteran because of the level of experience you've got over the years, but this is your first festival.
Yes.
Representing Delta State. What's that feeling like? Has it been worth your while, really?
Yeah, it worth a while because it's been a dream and a wish come true, because this is the only medal that is nationally that is lacking in my collection. So I've been dreaming to be on home soil to compete in festival and then to add it to my collections. So I'm happy to be here.
And it's an impressive collection, if you must say. It's a whole kitty of award and medal.
Yes.
So winning gold, that's always been, you are Kelechi Iheanaga. That right there should be your topmost priority every time.
Yes.
And stiff opposition here and there, but you were eventually able to win. And going forward, 2023 calendar is already set and ready. What are we looking forward to for Kelechi Iheanaga?
I'm looking forward to qualify for World Championship and every other international competition that will be hosting in 2023.
A lot of people look up to you, Kelechi. Is there a lot of pressure? Do you think, hey guys, just chill. Don't pressurize me with all of these expectations. But do you just take it on your chin? How do you cope with that pressure?
There's a pressure, but sometimes you have to look over the pressure and do your thing. It's all about you and your performance. So if you're able to get a personal best or beat your personal best in a competition. So that means you're very good. So
do you go to bed very proud of yourself? National record holder, festival record holder, easily #1 javelin thrower in the entire country, and maybe one of the best in Africa. Do you rest on your oars? Is it time to rest yet?
Not really. I do rest. I do, when I go to bed, I'm like, when I look back at everything and so many of the things I've achieved so far, and I'm like, I've done so great, no matter what. So I do go to bed, sleeping, closing my eyes and having a good sound sleep, waking up in the morning, continue the journey from where I stopped.
So we have you're returning to the States next week. We will wish you the very best of flight. And maybe if they have, all those small nice munchies on the plane, you could get some for me. A deal? Deal. Wow, those are the words and voice of the country's most precious javelin gem, Kelechi Iheanaga. There's nobody that comes close. She's earned our right to be called the best, the absolute best. She is at the peak of her powers, and easily she deserves every form of accolade and respect by this absolutely lovely sport fans. Literally happening right now in the National Sports Festival. Well, we're still here at the Stephen Keshi Stadium complex, where we're enjoying the very best of dominant display by men and women from the track and field. We will go for a quick break, and when we return, it is more actions, because we are a gift that keeps giving, and Christmas is just around the corner. Stick around too.
At Premium Trust Bank, together we raise stars. Together we go the distance. Together we support sportsmanship. Together we win. Come join Premium Trust Bank, the lead sponsor for the National Sports Festival. Premium Trust Bank, together for growth.
My physical state is the power that pushes me forward.
Anytime I remember, no pain, no gain. I expect the best for myself.
I have plans to be a Paralympic champion, wearing that Paralympic gold medal.
I'm going there to collect the gold medal.
Gold.
Follow me enter the jollification of National Sports Festival Delta 2022, where we go enjoy Naija culture and we color as ogbonge sports people. They fight for medal. 36 states and more than 35 sports. Tie! And all of us are connected to one thing. We gather the dream of victory.
From November 28th to December 10th.
The best of Naija will show themselves. Delta 2022. Now carnival where we dey celebrate Naija spirit of courage and determination.
Now Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development bring you Delta 2022, and now Delta State Government host time. They proudly sponsored by Premium Trust Bank, Bet King, Muka Form, Value Jet, Suzuki, Team 33 Production, Platform Petroleum Limited, Nekonde Energy Limited, Shell, Chevron, Agave, Energia Limited, Seplat Energy, Sterling Oil, and marketed by Nilayo Sport Management Limited. Enter www.delta2022.com for more details. National Sports Festival Delta 2022, uniting Nigeria, inspiring a new generation.
Well, we welcome you to the what we call the capital of this very, very lovely city. It is the Asaba in Delta State. I've had my very best of time. I've had the very best of feeling as well of what has been an absolutely gorgeous performance at some of these athletes here in Asaba. Well, I'm being joined in the studio by a man who just finished his race at the 110 meters for men hurdles, and he did great, I must say. His name is Martins. How you doing, my man?
I'm cool.
Please use your microphone.
I'm cool.
You're good?
Yeah.
Martins, I think I like the way you started that race. I think if yes, you should please roll that race again. I like the way you started that race, but maybe at some point, you hit a couple of the obstacles, and then that will slow you down. But I like the way you carried yourself all through. Gold would have been the prize, right? But I mean, bronze is not bad.
Yes.
Please use your mic.
Yes. I really felt bad after the race because one, this technical event, if you make a mistake in between your hurdles, you've lost it all. And
but you didn't lose it all, man. You have bronze.
Yeah, really. Reason why I'm feeling the pains now is one, the winner they win it a better time. I run faster than this, and me come here I was coming here to like, okay, I'm a 3 times, festival champion.
participant,
Yeah,
okay.
I won it Kaduna,
Oh wow.
Kaduna, River State, and Lagos, and
Wow.
I'm 2 times world police game champion in the hurdles. So I was coming here at least.
I mean, look at your stats right
Yeah.
there. Look at the way you just charged out of the ranks.
Yeah,
Looking very powerful coming
my
out.
start was very good, but
Yes.
in between the race, when I hit my hurdles, that was when I got it wrong, and I felt very bad because I was coming here at least to prove myself one more time.
One more time. I mean, you've won. You said you won Kaduna, you won Rivers. And that means you were
And
3-time
Lagos.
champion of this particular,
Yeah.
3 gold.
Yes.
But bronze is not bad. And then you also mentioned that your police officer, guys, is a gentleman of the Nigerian police force. I'm sure everyone in their quarters, everyone in their offices right now, everyone at the post, they'll be very proud of you. Come on, chin up, man.
Yeah.
So what's your rank in the police officer?
I'm a sergeant.
Yeah, a sergeant. All right.
Yeah.
So now I know for a fact that I have a friend of. I mean, police is your friend, so you're my closer friend now.
Yes,
right.
yes.
So, gentleman agreement. I've been my friend. Guys, thank you so very much, Martins.
Yeah.
Very well done. And so, what's the plan now? 2023. What's the plan for Martins?
2023, I'm having a world police game, and I'm preparing towards that. I'm going there to defend my title.
Absolutely.
So that is what I'm preparing for. And I want to also use this medium to thank Inspector General of Police. I want to thank our sport officer for giving me the time, the opportunity, privilege to come here, not represented by Asa State alone, to represent the Nigeria Police Force.
Yeah, well done, very well done. So I'll be rooting for you. Don't worry. I've been at the World Police Games. I'll be shouting your name. Go Martins, go Martins.
Thank you.
Well done. Knuckle up for you, my man. Thank you. But that's the word of Nigerian police force member Martins. We will go straight up for commentaries. Emmanuel Etim is standing by.
Well, in the matter of speaking, I'm actually sitting. No one can commentate standing for the entire duration of an athletics event. But it's been a fascinating conversation between Jide and the man who's just recently won gold in the men's 110-meter hurdles. Okonye Precious of, Delta State. Just before that, the record-breaking feat set in javelin by Kelechi Nwanga Precious. A time of 34, a throw of 34.29 meters at new national festival record, and something for her to be super excited about. The athletes are getting set for the women's 800 meters final. It's the shortest commonly run middle distance running event. That's one done over 2 laps. It's the 400 meter mark. That's one particular event in track and field that's been part of the main event, the Olympic Games, since the first modern games held in 1896. And also a main feature at the National Sports Festival over the years. That's one that combines aerobic endurance and anaerobic conditioning. That's more of endurance than a sprint. The final few meters, well, you could see how fast the athlete could be at the sound of the gun. It's more of coordinated and some level of technical exertions. They say runners in this particular event, the 800 meters, are often fast enough to also compete to the 400 meters, but more commonly they do have enough endurance to double up. So there you go, the confirmation of the starting lineup. It's the women's 800 meters final. Lenti Jaffet from Adamawa State. There's Comfort James running for Kwaimum. Verity Umaru would race for Biosel. Con Patience from Cross River. B.A. Joy, Delta. You also have others like Fatima Adebayo with beam number 215. Sabiu Yetunde from Oshu State. Fatima's running for Edo State. at the games this year. And Jimo Ramat also competing in beam number 244 for River State. And it's the
Moramites, BK, that's her full name. She's been invited to the World Junior Camps. A young athlete that's going to, or in the new year, going to the Mississippi State University, Michigan State University, I think, and she's been impressive so far all through the season. And she also won the silver in the 1500, 1500. So she's quite a useful athlete indeed.
Today, for Shoe State, doesn't look quite confident, but again, it just might be her own strategy.
Well, people do have different strategies. Some can appear timid, but quietly they may be beasts inside them. And that's number 80, Umaru. Doesn't look timid at all. Looks very fearsome.
And just that notice that this is the shortest of all the long distance races. So there's a lot of technique expected of these athletes.
Yes, it's just how well they can conserve their energy over the first 400 meters. We're expecting to see a time of 2 minutes 8, 2 minutes 9 seconds for this race. And so I will say they'll do about 1 minute 2 seconds for the first 400 meters, or 60 seconds. But then the national record for this event is 2 minutes 5 seconds, 2 minutes 5.1 seconds. So I don't expect that to be broken. Abigail has done a 2 minutes 6 seconds early in the season, but I feel that the running of the 1500 yesterday would have taken a toll on her. But 2 minutes 6, 7, 2 minutes 8 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds is what I'm expecting in this race. But like I said before, I may be wrong.
So, by virtue of Annie's analysis, keep your eyes on practically all of the athletes.
Well, lane 8-244 became the blue vest of Rivers.
Jimo Ramat of Rivers. Off the go, Anna. As you've mentioned, it's more about just keeping your cool.
Yeah, they will stay on their lane for the first 100 meters, and then they will get to the orange cones at the far side, and they'll all cross into the lane 1 to get to the shortest distance possible, and there they go. And like I told you, Abike stays in front. She's always a good runner leading from the front. She will set the pace at what she wants, and then she tells the rest of the field, catch me if you dare.
Often, as they say, it's advantageous to just keep momentum, stay in front, and dictate the pace of the running. And she's trying to do that at the bend. Just here to the final, the first 400-meter dash.
Yeah, and as they enter the first 400 meters, that you can see her, she's a stride ahead of the race. A little bit of a disadvantage running from the front because you have the whole wind against your face. But well, if you're strong and you're stronger than the rest, it takes you to control the pace at your own time. 62 seconds was about the lap I told you for the first 400. So we're looking at 2 minutes 8 seconds, 2 minutes 9 second race. So as they go on to a 350 meter mark, it's still Abike leading Comfort James from Akwa Ibom, and the Delta athlete Salibu Yetunde or Abiye Joy.
Abiye Joy. But it looks like she's.
So now she's being challenged at the far side now, and can she find a second gear out of there? It's 200 meters to go, and that's Abike moving her hand swingly, and that's Joy giving her a challenge, and this is going to be a sprint finish. So it can't be more exciting than this. As we go stride for stride, power for power, look at the grit in her. And Joy is not giving anything away. It's her home turf. Abike is the favorite to do with it. And they're moving strong. And that's feeling it. She's getting up. Abike begins to lose her form. She's putting everything she's got. And Joy is trying to put up. She's at home. But look who's coming from the back. And it's a goal for Delta. The silver for Abike. A double silver for there. And it seems it's Yetunde with the bronze. I want to confirm 209. I told it about 209. It's winning time. 209.50. A very competitive race, not extremely fast one. And that's Delta winning a clean sweep so far of all the races we've had this evening. And their medal count just keeps growing and growing and growing. These sure Deltas know how to dig for gold.
Oh, they sure do know how to dig for gold. The incentives are there to motivate the athletes. And someone who, at the first 400 meters, she, in about virtue of my count, stayed third. But the moment they hit the final stretch, and don't know where that strength came from.
Well, like I told you, it's always a very difficult thing to run from the front. You have all the wind against your face. You're protecting the people behind you. So you can only do that when you're so confident of yourself. And I think Abike was probably a touch of a confidence of her abilities.
Oh, she certainly felt that final few meters. And a silver medal is still something to be proud about at the games.
Well, her second silver, and like I said, it's either that the 1,500 meters took a toll of her yesterday. She hasn't fully recovered, or she just had a poor race plan, or probably Abia Joy just wanted it more.
Yeah, the strength of Abia Joy to grant interviews instantly after that race. I told you, if she has the opportunity of running again, she will certainly take it. And it's the completion of the women's 800 meters final with Gota gold medalist. The States is the most familiar and the most pronounced at the festival. Delta State, the athletes, Abia Joy. It's just a name and a performance. They is certainly joyous at the moment. The older athletes just try to regain their breaths. Just off the block, as a composed start for all of the athletes. Jimo Ramat with the initial control. Looked like she dictated the pace.
She kept it up in the first 400. Totally in control. You can look at that. No stress on her face. But you can see the stress on her face as she comes to the last 100 meters. Joy looks more relaxed. You can see the composure on her. Elbows on the back, knees high, abs tight, heads up. And that takes it 1, 2, 3, and she's off. And there goes Abike, slowing down faster than she expected to be. And Joy picks up the gold, a head and shoulder of length ahead of her. And that's 209.58. Impressive from Joy.
The festival record stays. So it wouldn't be something to celebrate in terms of shattering the record. But also a special mention to Comfort James, who represented has represented Akwa and just went down after crossing the finish line, and so much energy exerted from the Akwa Ibomite. Comfort James, but there you go. That's your gold medalist. Just ensuring that Delta will continue to dominate the festival, even as we anticipate what in my books is the main event for the day. That's the 200 meters final, but for men and women. But this time, it's another opportunity to see how this athlete, how fast and how coordinated they can be. The men's 800 meters.
Well, the men's 800 meters, we have Obadiah from Adamawa in lane 1. We have Tom Monday from Cross River State in lane 2. Habibu Salusi from Delta. We have to keep an eye on Delta going by what we've seen so far today. Kuweyemi from Edo in lane 4. Harunado from Gombe, lane 5. Well, Usman Abdullahi from Jigawa State, lane 6 with the number 666. Misu Musa from Katsina, lane 7. Ramalan in lane 8 from Nasarawa. So here we can see the team Cross Rivers 102, and that's Obadiah. That's Tom Monday. But if we go by what we've been seeing so far, we keep an eye on the Delta athletes as they get ready to take off. And they get off smoothly. It's quite a controlled start. And we have seen Salusi Habibu try to take control. He may have been tactically aware that he shouldn't go to the front too early. But it's Usman Abdullahi taking total control of the race. He probably wants to obliterate the whole race before they even start off. He's got 3 meters clear of the rest. And this is stretching the race. And once you start seeing a stretch of the race, you know that they're going at a very fast pace. But Abdullahi seems to be going 4, 5, 6 minutes ahead. As a close race there with Salisu Habibu following him up behind. But Abdullahi seems very comfortable in his pace. He seems to open a clear lead of 5, 6 meters the runner that started on lane 6 with the number 666 is 6 meters ahead. And there we go, 55 seconds for the first 400 meters. That's an incredibly fast race. And at this race, we may be seeing a time of 149, 150. And that will be close to a new festival record, if I'm not mistaken. And there goes Abdullahi, keeping pace. Can he keep this up? If he can, he's going for what? But his shoulders are beginning to stiff up. He's tiring out. His legs are becoming slowing. And that's, I'd say, the crowd is coming up to him. And we keep an eye on the Delta athletes. Very well coached. And Abdullahi seems to have lost all steam. And he stumbles on his stand. And down he goes, Abdullahi. Oh, my goodness. And there goes the athlete 292. It's Obadiah from Adamawa going up. And Delta athlete behind him. And that is Abibu. It's Obadiah from Abibu. But we have Monday coming close. Monday takes it from Abibu. Abibu looks at him, looks left, has a chat with him. But Monday says, I can do better. And they cross the line. 155. And judging by their demeanor, I think that's a hit, and that's not going to be a final. So once they've qualified, I think it was okay for them to have a chit chat in the last 5 meters. And that's our early race leader, number 666, Usman Abdullahi, having a complaint to the umpires that he was fell down. And I think the track judges will take a look at that. And sometime when that happens, they can reinstate him in the finals. If it was it was a mere accident, because he was obviously in leading position. But we'll leave that to the judges and their team officials to handle while we prepare for hits 2.
What a race that was. A dramatic moment and quite an unusual beep number, 666. And just that calamity befalling him in the final bend, just hitting the 200 meters. And like Eddie mentioned, it's just the first hits. The athlete getting set for the second. For the time being, though, it's happy times for Swose Obadiah for Damawa, and also the Cross Riverian Tom Monday alongside Salisu Habibu. It's the 800 meters hit 1. Just that defining space. The entire arena thought this was going to be a record-breaking run, one that could threaten the existing sports festival record set in Bauchi the year 1991 by Egbiaso Michael. That record will stand because his time that year.
And that's the place that I think he was tripped over. For those that have omens, the number was a bad omen. He didn't finish up.
Yeah.
The judges will look at that and see if there's any foul play there.
Again, the strength of the demo athlete, Suswe Obadiah, and what a run that was from also the Cross Riverian. Just getting past. And it was Cross River, it was Delta at the final 2 meters. At that time of 1.5530. It's the athletes from Delta who will be credited with the fastest. So we'll set for the second hit in the men's 800 meters. Iridion Gudo from Akwa Ibom State. Be in lane 1. There's Hamjam Saudi of Cross River. Isaac Miracle from Delta. Jonathan Atiku running for Gombe. Also Ibrahim Usman from Jigawa. And the man on your screen. Also just getting set to compete alongside Sahara Mohammed from Kebbi. And the Manji Audu. A 800 meters hits 2. It's not surprising to see athletes from Delta here competing. Jonathan Atiku looks like one of the favorites for this particular hit. It's an event that's got the world record held by a gentleman called David Rudisha. On the African continent, it's still him. who holds the record, Radisha, with a time of 1:40:10 seconds. If it's anything to compare with the first, and we're in for more drama. It's a highly tactical race. The festival record stays at 1:49.72 seconds. Just trying to get a better positioning and ensure they are exactly where they're supposed to be. And away we go. The men's 800 meters hit to first national sport festival, aesthetically pleasing Stephen Keshi Stadium. It's an early charge. The runners just trying to keep that positive split. It's often mentioned the first lap of the 800 meters tend to be faster than the second. But it's a different system deployed by the HIIT 2 athletes compared to HIIT 1, which had a more faster first period. They've decided to jog it off and to reverse what is known with the race. You'd expect a faster second round. Nothing separating all the athletes. Didier Ngudo from Akwa Ibom State. So Isaac Miracle, who would be hoping his name would conjure up some level of magic that could propel him into the final. Right behind is Zahara Mohammed of Kebbi. It's quite a calm race, this is. Just having all the runners converging into the left lane. And as I mentioned, they hit the 200-meter bend. It's the boys interpreted from the men. A tad faster. It's a Didier Ngudo who takes command of this race, but he's closed down by Zahara Mohammed. Didier are still holding on. So hit the middle point, just about 50 meters off. Didier with no pressure, certainly will just jog his way through qualification. Closely followed by the Delta contingent, Isaac Miracle, who, as I mentioned, 1:59.33 seconds. Enough to take the trio into the 800 meters final. Not the fastest of races, but the final few meters did provide some level of excitement. Hans Akimbo. It's quite exerting to go past the opposition on the final bend. Always that challenge. But it's one they will be satisfied. The essence of the HIIT was to tick off qualification into the final, and exactly what they've done. And as we get set for even more races, so I've mentioned the joy of the 200 meters still to come, and the men and women's category. And for the time being, just a playback of that race The tactics was even for all the athletes in the first turn, just to calmly jog the way through the first 400 meters. As expected, that a pace intensified. There you have Elidi Ngudo from Akwa Ibom State, just glided his way through. He saw the finish line in the final 5 meters and just took his foot off the pedal at that bit. He knew if first was taken away, he will finish second. Still fast enough to take the time of 1:59.33 seconds. Gets the chance to possibly break that record set in 1991 in Bochi by Egbiaso Michael at the men's 800 meters. We've seen quite some record-breaking moments at the 21st National Sports Festival here in Asaba Delta State. Has been a handful in swimming, have been worn even multiple in weightlifting, and the Para Games. I've also seen one of my favorite performer, Esther, who has secured a powerlifting world record. Esther Mwogu, also of Delta State, at moments where she lifted 115 kg at the track and field event. Just seconds earlier, you had the pleasure of watching Kelechi Precious Uwaga, who set the festival record in javelin at a time of 34.29 meters. There you go. The lady just taking off Jessie, the favorite at the 200 meters. We're going for a breakout return. It's that final we've been waiting for. The women's 200 meters, and then the men will follow.
At Premium Trust Bank, together we raise stars. Together we go the distance. Together we support sportsmanship. Together we win. Come join Premium Trust Bank, the lead sponsor for the National Sports Festival. Premium Trust Bank, together for growth.
My physical state is the power that pushes me forward.
Anytime I remember, no pain, no gain. I expect the best for myself.
I have plans to be a Paralympic champion, wearing that Paralympic gold medal.
I'm going there to collect the gold medal.
Gold.
Follow me enter the jollification of National Sports Festival Delta 2022, where we go enjoy Naija culture and we color as ogbonge sports people. They fight for medal. 36 states and more than 35 sports. Tie! And all of us are connected to one team. We gather the dream of victory.
From November 28th to December 10th.
The best of Naija will show themselves. Delta 2022. Now carnival where we dey celebrate with Niger spirit of courage and determination.
Now, Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development bring you Delta 2022, and now Delta State Government host time. It is proudly sponsored by Premium Trust Bank, Bet King, Muka Form, Value Jet, Suzuki, Team 33 Production, Platform Petroleum Limited, Nekonde Energy Limited, Shell, Chevron, Agave, Energia Limited, Seplat Energy, Sterling Oil, and marketed by Nilayo Sport Management Limited. Enter www.delta2022.com for more details. National Sports Festival Delta 2022, uniting Nigeria, inspiring a new generation.
The fans still inside the main bowl of the Stephen Keshi Stadium, lapping up all of the track and field events. Day 8 of our coverage, continued coverage of the 21st National Sports Festival Delta 2022. Just before that, the light, that is the 200 meters, as the relay event, one that comes with drama, high intensity. It's looks like the mixed relay. So plenty of drama expected. Confirmation. The 4x100 mixed relay final. Oyo in lane 1, Kaduna lane 2, Delta lane 3, Ado lane 4, Bielsa, Rivers 5 and 6, Lagos lane 7, and the Uncommon State Akwa Ibom have got their athletes in lane 8. Expectations are always high in races like this, and also a tense moment. Delta in lane 3. That's the athletes from Bielsa. They are in lane 5. There you go. They won from Lagos. River State, more like. Almost the same attire in terms of colouring. All set for the relays. It promises to be colourful. It promises to be exciting. And, for what it's worth, it also could be dramatic. So it is with all the track and field events. The rules attached to the mixed relay. This is the final. Errors aren't permitted. I often say the first leg is as significant as the last. NS still with me on commentaries, yeah.
Yes, indeed. The first leg is determines the pace of the race, but I can see very impressive runners on the last leg. I can see Tima, God bless, from Bielsa. Also, the last leg in for Lagos is Anita Taviori. She just came in from the United States of America, so she's quite an impressive runner. And there's the 100 meters winner. Oh, it's quite an impressive lineup.
It is quite an impressive lineup, yes.
And a very innovative race. We have 2 guys and 2 ladies. The guys give up to the ladies give up to the guys, and the ladies end it up. And all teams use the same strategy.
It is wise. For some, they have seen races in the highest arenas where you have the women doing it first and then the men taking the final step. But if it doesn't work for you, I don't know who you blame that on, the coaches or the athletes themselves. Who comes up with the alignment in it?
It's a team sport, so in terms of taking the blame, it's a collective blame. That's Bielsa State.
Yes. Concentration on his face. You mentioned Timothy Keseye. Eyes certainly fixated on her. For the first leg is always crucial.
Well, Edo State have some impressive runners there. Bielsa, like I said, Tima, God bless, Lane there. She's going to be very, very impressive. In lane 7, Lagos, we also have Anita Taviori coming in from the US. She didn't run in the flat, so we seem to see an impressive runner there. If they can get a stick round, that's the most important thing about this race, is getting the stick round across. In the relay, sometimes the best team doesn't always win. It's the most disciplined and well-organized team that normally wins the race. So Nigeria has a strong tradition in the 4x100.
Tell me about that, Ene.
We've won Olympic medals. We've won World Championship medals. Of course, we've won Commonwealth and African Games medals. And so these athletes will wish to be written among those golden names in the nearest future. We get ready now. And I think the starter send them down on the max. Shh, everywhere goes silence as the athletes prepare for maximum concentration here. Beating the gun will be catastrophic because it disqualifies the whole team. So the responsibility not on you. However, they get away first time, and that's Lagos in 7, closing up on Akwa Ibom. And we have them Rivers just a step behind. And Lagos has an excellent start there. And there goes the Lagos athlete. Oh, the mix-up action was quite a mix-up. And there's Rivers and Lagos coming up there with Akwa Ibom there. And there goes They move up, and that's a fine race by Delta, Lagos, and Rivers. And Rivers says clear. And it's going to be an impressive movement. And there goes Tima, God bless. She has the baton, she has the race. It's as simple as that. And that's it. Number 60, Bayelsa, she wins by a mile.
Well, apologies that you can hear me clap, but that was a brilliant 100-meter dash from Tima Sikiseye. God bless. 41.9 for Ene.
41.94, an impressive time by all ramifications. It was a very impressive race. I was lost for words at the moment because I could see the impressive quartet of the Rivers and the Bayelsa team taking their neighborhood fights down here. This is the first time on the tracks this evening that Delta has been dethroned or put off the golden stable. The athletes seem quite happy about that. And Tima, she adds to her impressive medal haul at the National Sports Festival Delta 2020.
It's incredible, and she is also on the verge of picking gold in the women's 200 meters. She's the favorite for that race, and what a 100-meter dash she just had. And that smile, Bayelsa takes gold in the mixed relay, 4x100. No one was coming close to her. No one. And to mention how young she is.
So as we look through the race there, an impressive start from all athletes, especially the Lagos athletes in lane 7. Now, we just really wonder how they fell apart somehow because they were a step ahead of Rivers at that point in time. And by the second exchange, Rivers and Bayelsa were closing in. Oh, yeah. Poor exchange. The exchange was poor, and that's where Rivers and Bayelsa closed in on. And it was too late for any other athletes to take part. But just look at the concentration of Tima. She gets there, hands out, wham, gets the baton on the left, no change. She takes off 1, 2, 3, fully in her stride. And once she's in her stride, nobody, no Nigerian lady at home now can match her stride for stride. And there she goes, opening the gap with every stride, every inch, every stride, at each water. And she's there. And the Rivers athlete, impressive running, powerful running, hands and lift it up. And there goes Tima first, Rivers second, and Edo third.
Well, the world knows Tima, but that final 10-meter dash from the Rivers athletes is befitting of a gold medal. She gave practically everything, leaving nothing on the tracks. She's the reason why Rivers will be on that podium celebrating a silver medal in the mixed relay 4x100. But again, how beautiful it is to see. God bless Tima Sikiseye. 2 gold medals and still counting.
Yeah, still counting. She has the 200 meters, like you said, and she has a 4x1. So she may end up with 4 gold medals in this impressive tournament for her.
There's always that joy of competing in multiple events. It gives you the opportunity of winning more. There's also the advice of being a special athlete, sort of. If you can concentrate on 100 meters and dominate that field, it's perfect. But you know what more can be said? It's been an exciting race and more still to come.
And you can see me right now. The Tartan Sharks had this absolutely fantastic athletes earlier. They have made history in the illustrious history of the National Sports Festival. We've never had a particular team this dominant, and it's Team Bayelsa. Guys, congratulations to you guys. Absolutely amazing. Tima, God bless you. Were again absolutely important to that final. You won the 100 meters finals, and now you told me that day when we were having an interview that you have one more goal to go. Congratulations. Talk us through that. So how did it go for you, man?
I thank God for the gift of life.
Yeah.
I thank God because people were saying that we will not.
Yeah.
Like they are the one that wants to give.
Yeah.
Good. But thank God we ran all our best.
Yeah, you did your
like
best.
all our life.
Absolutely.
To get this gold medal. And we thank God for it.
Absolutely. Please pass the mic to him. You were the one, I mean, we'll take a look at that particular race again. You were the one who passed the betting to her, and I could hear you were just shouting her name, like, go, go, go. Was that part of like the motivation level of encouragement or
Yeah,
something?
that's just it. The thing is, we all need to motivate ourselves, and we need that ginger to keep us going. So we have to just keep on pushing. And I know when the sound of my voice going, go, 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 should be inspired to go faster. So that's just the whole game plan.
I think you started the race, right? Yeah, so what was the plan? You were fighting with, I think, your friend from Delta. You guys were friends. I saw you guys were having a conversation before you started, and then when you started, it was business as usual, and you just went.
Yeah.
Please use your mic. Use your mic.
Yeah. The plan is that it's like before the competition, that we are friends and we are folks, but when we get to that starting line, we are all like frenemies.
I mean, look at it right now. Look at you behind the team. You just kept on shouting.
At the end of the day, we just executed what we wanted to do, and we thank God. We focus and we motivate ourselves just to get to this level, and we want it. We thank God for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So congratulations to Team Bielsa. So once you're ready, go, everybody shout Team Bielsa.
Team Bielsa!
And that's the words and that's the voice of this absolutely amazing athletes for Team Bielsa. They smoked the tartan tracks. They're absolutely proud. You can see what it means to them. Prayers have been said. Motivation is being done. They're getting ready for the 200, and it's been absolutely amazing to see Atima, God bless, again, smoking it on the tartan tracks. It's all love. It's all respect. It's all level of camaraderie here at the Delta 2022. We're getting ready for the 200 meters final, and boy, oh boy, are we loving it. We will patch up now to Emmanuel Etim for more commentaries. See you again when it's time for studio.
The conversation with the victorious Team Bielsa, the 4x100 mixed relay, and just had to put out a tweet saying that girl with the beam number 60 is a star, and the name hasn't changed. God bless Tima Sikaseye. It's an absolute pleasure seeing her in real time. I'll loosely say dominates this track and field event at the sports festival. And they're still with me on commentaries, and still set for more events this evening.
Well, yes, now this is my Blue Ribbon event, the 4x400 meters, and I will need no way to say that, but this is the mixed relay. It's something quite different, and we're going the same order that the ladies went. The men will start up the race, give it to the ladies, then the men goes up to the third leg, and the ladies end up. So it's Team Ogun in 1, Lagos in 2, Oyo in 3, Akwa Ibom in 4, Delta in 5, Rivers in 6, Edo in 7, and Bielsa in 8. So you see a very competitive race, just like we saw in 100 mixed. This innovation by the World Athletics has been new, and it's really very, very great. And for those that don't know, the mixed relay is actually started in Nigeria. It was an innovation in Nigeria over a while, and before the World Athletics adopted that in their world relays, and suddenly it's become the mainstream of the Olympic movement, track and field events. So we're going to see very impressive times here. We looking at Team Delta and Team Akwa Ibom, they're very good teams. But of course, Rivers and Bielsa have told us that the boys and girls from the creeks really have one or two things about running too.
Yeah. I was going to add to that, but I prefer my freedom to roam the streets of Lagos. But yeah, it's a necessary skill to learn how to swim and how to be fast in certain parts of the country if you reside. But I think, on the surface, it's this a more strenuous run than the 4x100 mixed relay.
Oh, yes, in every ramification. The 4x100 meters is the more technical race. The changing pattern, the practice of the changing pattern can determine, can make you win or lose a race. But in the 4x400, it's more of sheer grit, sheer heart, sheer desire, sheer determination, and absolute ambition to finish a race. But is what is the vital thing in this race.
Okay, Team Lagos, Delta, Edo, and it has you covered.
Some of the impressive finalists from the 400 meters run in the first leg in this race. So It's pretty going to be very tough. It's going to be very tough in the first leg. But the aim is to reduce the stagger and give your second leg the advantage to run out. They're on their max. Ogun 1, Lagos 2, Oyo 3, Akwa Ibom 4, Delta 5, River 6, Edo 8, and 7, and Bayelsa 8. Get away by Team Delta. And Team Akwa Ibom 2 running pretty good. Team Lagos in the yellow stripe getting close to Team Oyo. But this stage is very too early to tell because the staggers are the 4x4 stagger. And they move down the back streets. It's difficult to know who leads until they get into the final 300. But impressively, Team Bayelsa out in lane 8 seems to be opening up very well. Team Edo following closely, but Rivers and Delta, they've opened the gulf to be with 2 divisions of races there. And that's Bayelsa moving back into the long straights. And Edo going closer. But Lagos has got a stagger over Oyo, but Oyo is falling back. The race of the first leg of the second, first 100 second leg. And there goes Team Oyo moving it through. And Team Lagos moving it there. That's it for the second leg. And at this time now, when they come into the lanes, we start to know who leads the race. But at this time, it seems that it's Rivers in 1. 2. It's 5 to know you and Delta and 3. Bayelsa way back behind. This is impressive. And look at that. Slow taking over the 200. And there you go. It's this is Rivers. This is Oyo and Lagos. And there they go. It's impressive. These ladies are actually born in the tracks. The first 3 are keeping everything out. And that's and Delta moves. Lagos in Rivers in second. Lagos in third. It's going to be Delta, Rivers, Lagos. And Oyo look, following up behind. Delta have opened an impressive lead. They want to take back their returning the winning streak. That's Lagos going closer. It's Delta. And it's a fight for Lagos. They go into the final 200 meters. The banner open up, stride for stride, hand for stride, focus, hands, heels, head. We heads up. And that's Team Oyo moving back strongly. And it's Delta. It's Rivers. It's Oyo now. It's Lagos falling out behind. Well, stride. And I think that's going to be the Delta athlete takes the baton. Does she leave it up? And it's Rivers second. Oyo goes in third. And the Oyo athlete seems to be overdoing herself, running in the outer lane. She should have crossed in. And she's giving herself a lot of work to do. And there goes Lagos trying to follow her up. And it's Delta, Rivers, Oyo, Lagos in that order. And Delta blow the field away. They've opened up a 30-meter gap. And it's Rivers moving down. And it's Oyo in third place. Lagos in fourth. And that's Edo in fifth. And the teams are going. Delta, the swag, the confidence, the swagger of the lady. She's going. She knows she's got it. She knows she's got it. She knows she's got it. The battle is for second. It's between Rivers and Oyo now. And Edo comes. It's Rivers grabbing second. Oyo third. And Edo finishes fourth while Lagos fifth. And it's been 3:19.15. An impressive run. One race.
Just listening to the stadium announcer
A wonderful race.
appeal to the audience to give them a round of applause. That was indeed an exciting race to watch. Delta yet again coming out top. So the gold medal in the 4x400 meters mixed relay final here at the Stephen Keshi Stadium. What a start for the hosts. And somehow they kept the momentum, just ensuring that this big heart of the nation stays visible on the medals table. To celebrate this win and remember this memorable race to come. And exciting times, even more for Anchor Jide, who's down on the tracks.
I can't hear. Well, it's all bliss, it's all happiness, it's all joy for the Delta family. The fans in the stadium are absolutely in a rapturous feel. Why not? It's another gold medal for this very proud state of Delta. And you can see from the get-go, this is a mixed relay, and what a joy where both genders participate in one particular relay for the greatness of the National Sports Festival. I'm being joined at the moment by a man who everything technical is on his table. Step forward, Mr. Samuel Onikeku, who is the technical director of the Athletic Federation of Nigeria. Very good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for putting us a showpiece of athletics. What will you say has been the highlights for you personally as a TD of the AFN, sir?
Well, I've had so many highlights, but the first is that Chukwu Ebuka of Delta State was able to set the national record. This record has stayed for like 36 years. He's able to break the national record, so that's good for us. And again, our junior athletes that we took to Kenya last year, they were able to win the 100 meters for men and women. That is Tima, God bless, and Adekalu Fakorede. And then we've always been doing well in the mixed relay, in the finals in the Olympics, and now again we're in the finals in the World Championships. We are able to see that this event has gone well. So as a federation, we are happy that we are preparing for All African Games next year.
Let's talk about that now. Let's talk about Plan 2023. Have you seen enough quality of talent? Have you seen enough stars on the showing today that gives you enough joy and level of hope for 2023 All African Games?
Of course. With the way the junior athletes have been performing and they've been participating, we are sure that Nigeria will do better in the All African Games. As a federation, we know we'll better the last All African Games result. We've done that for the Olympics, we've done that for the World Championship where Toby sets the world record. So we know Toby and Ese will come good, and we know that our 4x1 female team has gotten to the final with set African record. So we believe that the 4x4 men team will work up, and we believe that the 4x4 and the men's team will start to give the women a run for the money so that we'll be on the podium so many times in All African Games.
And that right there is a man who speaks very, very highly and very hopeful of Nigeria's chances at the forthcoming 2023 All African Game. We want to thank you so very much, Mr. Samuel Onikeku. You're doing an absolutely fantastic job. Very, very well done. And speaking of well done for Team Delta. Another gold in the bag, another feeling. We will be talking to that particular team, the conquerors of the tracks in the 4x400 relay. But what an absolute feel. We'll go with our commentator right now. We have two more words, and then we'll be right back with the Delta team. Team Delta, another gold in the bag.
they go race. Don't be rich. You don't understand. They must race. That's what we want. I'm glad you made for